His lungs were small and he quickly went out of breath, but he endured. Using the hot energy from the elixir and mana from nature, he cut down the ice inside the mana circuit. He then circulated it within his whole body. *****. Reaper scans. Translator LKJGH. Proofreader Harley. Join our Discord for updates on releases. https://dsc.gg/reapercomics. *****. Crackle. He felt the energy from the elixir and mana permeate his bones, muscles, and skin. He maintained his sharp focus, which was being sharpened like the edge of a knife, and continued with his cultivation of the Ring of Fire. After some time had passed, flash! A burning sensation, as if a fireball cutting across his heart, resounded in his chest. A warm energy whirled around in his heart like a hoop. He had finally finished the Ring of Fire. It's finally. Just as he was about to open his eyes and cheer, there was a flash of gold light. Ding! The first Ring of Fire has been obtained. The first achievement has been created. Special trait Ring of Fire 1 star has been created. What's this? Just like when a magic circle would appear before sorcerers when they used magic, a light floated in front of his eyes. Your body has become a little stronger with the effect of the Ring of Fire 1 star. Strength, agility, and stamina have increased with the effect of the Ring of Fire 1 star. Special trait Water Resistance 1 star has been created. Other information popped up after the message stating that he had acquired the Ring of Fire. Huh? Rayon pursed his lips. What is this information? He felt his body become lighter the instant the messages appeared. Though there was not a massive difference, as it was a child's body, it was clear that there were changes. The pain has also subsided a little. The pain from the ice blocking his mana circuit had decreased, as well. Did the Ring of Fire have this capability? While the Ring of Fire was correctly referred to as a legendary method of practice, the effectiveness was not remarkable until 3 rings had formed, and only after 4 rings did it take effect. He had not experienced feeling a difference from merely achieving 1 star in his past life. Is it because of the elixir, or because it is a child's body? He tried to consider it from different angles, but had no answer. Or is it because of this message? Rayon read the message floating in front of him again. Though there were some differences between the present and his previous life, the biggest one seemed to be this message. Young master, you're already awake. He heard Helen's voice from above his head. She seemed to have entered the room again while he was practicing. Helen. Look at tis. Rayon pointed at the message, which resembled a magic circle. Yes? The bed? As Helen did not seem to see it. The message appeared to be only visible to him. Please check the status window to confirm the changes. Status window? Huh? He repeated it mentally without knowing what it was, and a window with the same light as the message appeared. Status window. Name, Rayon Zeekhart. Title, None. State, Curse of Frost 9 strands, poor stamina, cold body, decline in athletic ability, decline in mana affinity. Additional abilities have not been unlocked. He slowly examined the status window in front of him. Curse of Frost, poor stamina, cold body, decline in athletic ability, and decline in mana affinity. The information seemed to point towards his current state. As expected, my body is poor in many ways. Apart from the Curse of Frost, he even had a cold body and poor stamina. That was the reason he tired quickly after moving even a little. But it doesn't matter. Rayon closed his mouth. He was not at all worried, even if his constitution was bad. He was named the best assassin in his previous life, and he knew the best practice, the Ring of Fire. If he completed the Ring of Fire based on his experiences from his past life, it would be the same as not having those flaws. Furthermore, this is Zekeheart. It was completely feasible to behead Darius Robert if he could master the swordsmanship techniques secretly documented within the Zekeheart clan. And I am only 3 years old. Darius was one of the strongest on the continent. He would not be able to hold out if he got worked up over his revenge already. There is barely anyone who can kill him, anyway. Roan had to grow his strength and finish it off at one go the moment he had the chance, slowly but steadily. Rayon balled his fists, as if making a pledge to himself. And looked at the status window again. So, really? What is this message? He had no idea why he was suddenly seeing the message and the status window. He could only tell from his instincts as an assassin that it was not going to hurt him. It probably has something to do with my reincarnation. He vaguely assumed that there was a connection between the message and the reason he was reborn with memories from his past life. It seemed he had to figure it out slowly, just as he had to do on his quest for Darius Robert's head. Let's not be impatient and take it slow. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. The second ring of fire has been obtained. Your soul has become a little stronger with the effect of the ring of fire 2 stars. Mana affinity, willpower, and energy have increased with the effect of the ring of fire 2 stars. Rayon grinned widely after checking the message window. I finally did it. The second ring had formed upon consistent cultivation for the last 2.5 years, starting after the first one had been obtained. The first ring of fire was spinning around his heart horizontally, while the second ring of fire, which had just formed, was spinning vertically. Perhaps it was due to the message that his affinity had increased, but he did feel more sensitive towards the mana drifting in the room. It was clear that the message was giving him a special benefit. To think that I managed to create 2 rings of fire by the age of 5. It would be a first in the history of the continent for a child of the young age of 5 to have picked up the legendary practice of the ring of fire. His heart swelled with pride. I don't want to cause them any harm. Sylvia, Helen, and the other maids had only showered him with kindness. Though he was going to leave and could not provide help, he did not want to abuse their kindness. Phew. The door burst open just as Rayon was about to begin his practice again. My son. Sylvia entered. While she was smiling, her face looked pale. Mother? He had to call her mother properly now that he had passed 5 years of age. Though he could not help the natural lisps in his pronunciation. Do you remember that I said there was somewhere you had to go with Mommy? She spoke as she placed the dark red attire that she had brought with her on the bed and pulled off his sleepwear. Come to think of it. She had said a few days prior that they were going to assemble the children from both lineal and collateral lines to check something. Don't worry. It will end quickly. Sylvia smiled brightly, as if comforting him. Okay. How is my darling son, so kind and good-looking? Sylvia paused in the middle of helping him change and rubbed her cheek against his face. Air, please. Rayon's hand shook, unable to do anything. It was Helen who stopped Sylvia, who had brought Rayon into a long embrace even after having finished helping him change. Milady. Now is not the time. The judgment ceremony will begin soon. Chapter 3. Here it is, milady. The head maid of the bedchambers, Helen, passed a steaming white bowl over to Sylvia. Thank you. Sylvia cooled the hot elixir as she looked at Rayon, who was fast asleep. Do you think it will be difficult to feed him? Children detest bitter things, milady. You disliked bitter medicine when you were young, as well. I did? You may not remember. There was a time that you even ran away, saying that you did not wish to take it. Hey, Rayon's listening. Haha. They both giggled as they glanced down at Rayon, who was snoring quietly. Indeed, no child likes medicine. Rayon is so young, too. He will hate it even more. But milady. I know. He must take it. Sylvia nodded her head in determination. This is an elixir from Uncle. I cannot let a single drop go to waste. As if her pleading with father had troubled him, Patrick had come by the annex again and given her 3 good quality elixirs with fire properties. Since she was diluting the elixirs as she used them, they would be able to last for quite some time. In the meantime, she could look for other elixirs elsewhere. It was fortunate that he had come. Rayon. Sylvia gently smoothed down Rayon's hair, not wanting to upset him. NGHH. Rayon flexed his fingers as he opened his eyes. Did you sleep well? Oh, NGHH. There is something you must do from today onwards, Rayon. You must drink all of this. Sylvia scooped the medicine up with a small wooden spoon and brought it to Rayon's lips. He will drink it, but will probably cry right after. Though it was a child's instinct to consume the medicine, it was certain that he would throw a fit and spit it out immediately. Now, let's drink. Sylvia poured the elixir into Rayon's mouth, tensing as she made sure that the elixir did not trickle out. Ooh. She watched Rayon scrunch up his face. She grimaced as she waited for his tears to start. But there were no tears. Huh? When she cautiously opened her eyes, Rayon was waving his small hands in the air. It was as if he was telling her to give him more. Helen. This. Why, young master seems to be asking for more? Right? Is that correct? Sylvia widened her eyes and picked the spoon up again. This time, she scooped a larger amount than before and poured it into Rayon's mouth. Ooh. Rayon's eyebrows shot up to form a mountain. But he still did not cry. He jerked his hands faster. Oh. Sylvia's lips parted. Do you think Rayon understood my intentions? Definitely. It seems that the young master recognizes your intentions and is enduring it. It was obvious from his scrunched-up expression that he found it bitter. But as he was asking for more, it was clear that he understood and was going to endure the ordeal. Rayon. Sylvia couldn't help but hug Rayon tightly. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Just give me more of the medicine. Faster. Rayon waved his hand as he tapped on Sylvia's shoulder. Even if it is a little bitter, this is nothing. I cannot miss this opportunity. It wasn't just any normal medicine. What he needed the most was an elixir with fire properties. Though it was bitter and hot, to the point that his tongue felt numb, he had to finish it all. Look at Rayon. Don't you think he eats like such a sweetheart? Of course. Rayon did not let what Sylvia and Helen were saying bother him, swallowing the elixir the moment it passed his lips. Though I don't know what it is, the effects are insane. The moment he drank the elixir, a fiery energy started burning in his stomach, as if starting a blast furnace. The heat flowed through the mana circuit and started to drive out the ice. The effect and concentration of the medicine is just right. A strong elixir could actually be poison for a child's weak body. It seemed that Sylvia and Helen had ensured that the concentration of the elixir was suitable for absorption. Blurp. Rayon gave a small burp after licking off the remaining elixir on the spoon. He closed his eyes. Milady. Yes. Let's leave him to sleep. Sylvia and Helen watched him, evidently moved as their eyes shone, before leaving. Phew. Rayon opened his eyes immediately after they had left. I don't think they will return for some time. And even if they did, they would not bother him. Since he already had both food and medicine. There was no way either Sylvia or Helen would wake him. Therefore, it was the best moment to practice. Rayon brought the warm energy filling up his body forward and began his practice with the ring of fire. It will be faster to create the ring of fire and melt the ice. Thanks to the elixir. A grin appeared on his lips without him realizing it. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Time flew by. It had already been 2.5 years since Rayon began to practice his ring of fire. His daily routine had become very simple. He woke up in the morning and played with Sylvia and Helen. After lunch and the elixir, he pretended to fall asleep and trained the ring of fire during this nap time. After dinner, he would go to sleep early and wake up at around midnight. That was when he would begin his second round of practice, as everyone else was asleep. Above all else, he was confident that when compared to all the other 3-year-olds in the continent, he was the one who had lived life to the fullest. If all goes well, I think I can attain 1 star for the Ring of Fire today. There was steady progress, even if his training time was short, thanks to the elixir. It seemed like he could practice the Ring of Fire later, as long as he secured the right timing and focus. By the way, it seems he really doesn't care at all. Glenn Zeekhart had not shown his face since he had given Rayon his name. It seemed that he had no interest in not just Rayon, but his daughter Sylvia as well. Well, doesn't matter. There was no need for him to bother if the other party did not make an effort. As he had planned before, he would leave the clan after taking what he needed, and that was that. But it is a little. It was just that Sylvia, Helen, and the other maids remaining behind weighed heavily on his mind. It seemed that, after being with them for 3 years, tiny feelings had begun to sprout in his heart. Rayon. Call me mommy. While Rayon was fidgeting with his fingers and thinking of the future, Sylvia giggled and held him up. Ma'am. Ah. One more time. Mama. Ah. When he forced himself to mumble and call her Mama, Sylvia's face brightened up. Her eyes melted in happiness. Rayon. Just once more. Mama. Milady, I brought the medicine. As he played with Sylvia with a slightly tired look on his face, Helen brought over the heated elixir. Oh, thank you. Sylvia accepted the bowl of elixir from Helen. Here, Rayon. She cooled the hot elixir a little and scooped it for him. MMF. Rayon's small mouth came forward to meet the spoon. Look at you. Sylvia and Helen smiled as they watched Rayon swallow the elixir, even 2.5 years later. Sleepy. After finishing the elixir, Rayon blinked his eyes heavily, as if he were sleepy. Since we finished the medicine, shall we go for a nap? All right. Go to sleep. Sylvia put Rayon down on the bed facing the window and patted his stomach. Rayon closed his eyes and acted as if he was falling asleep. He heard Sylvia and Helen leaving the room not long after. They took a break while he pretended to be asleep. I guess I can begin now. Rayon recited the passage for the practice of the Ring of Fire as he closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. He let the mana, which was sucked in from nature with his inhale, flow through his entire body. The flow of mana is smooth. The mana flowed more smoothly, though his breathing was the same as usual. He felt as if was going to achieve something. Calm down. He calmly exhaled and connected the line of mana flowing in the mana circuit. The tips of his fingers trembled, as